Well, typically we pay, I mean,
Call a meeting to order. Geneva Town Council meetings are now live streamed and recorded. Your participation in the meeting is your consent to the recording and rebroadcasting of the meeting on the town's YouTube channel. We don't rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Let the minutes reflect that all town council members are present, town attorney is present, clerk treasurer, and our assistant clerk treasurer, and honored guests. Approval of the minutes, we have 3 different sets of minutes, 2 of them from regular meetings on June the 9th and the June 29th, and the executive session on June 23rd. If there are no corrections or additions, I would entertain a motion to accept all 3 as presented.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any additional comments from council? If not, all in favor of approving the minutes as stated, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Tonight, we have some citizen comments. First up is Laura Schwartz with some utility deposit concerns.
Okay, well, I also printed out my comments, just I need some copy, I'm not sure, it's just easier.
I got it.
I would take one. For the inner folder. Oh, okay, I didn't look there.
Here earlier. All right, so I want to say thank you to all of you for serving on the council. I appreciate everyone here. My first concern, though, has to do with the collection of deposit for services for utilities in the town of Geneva. The way that the ordinance is being interpreted and enforced right now means that a customer pays a deposit on every service that the customer wishes to have from the town. And this is different than is standard for utilities. For comparison, the other essential utilities in Geneva, NIPSCO, and IMP, once you apply for services from either of those companies, they might require a deposit. And if the customer then wishes to add services to their account, they do not request an additional deposit for every additional service. So I am asking that the council consider changing its interpretation of your ordinance. And the way that it's worded in the first sentence, when a person applies to the town for utility services, that the deposit is paid, that be interpreted to mean that the deposit's only paid on the initial application for services, and then subsequent services that that person may wish to have wouldn't require additional deposits to fall more in line with other utilities.
Tina, comments?
don't have any comments. I've already spoken to Laura about that. That's how that we've interpreted the ordinance. That when you open up a new service at a new location, you pay your $200 deposit. That's what our deposit is. There's nothing in the ordinance that says you only have to pay at one time and you can have multiple places with service in your name.
The ordinance does not specifically say anything about additional services or one customer having multiple services, but I know that I am not the only person in the town of Geneva that would want to have services at more than one location in their name.
So I'm a little bit clear on this. So you pay the deposit is basically set in so that they pay their bills initially. And how long do we typically keep the deposit before it's returned, you know?
So with the ordinance, the deposit gets returned when services are stopped. So if you move out of Geneva and you paid your deposit, then as long as you're in good standing, you'll get your deposit back. If you're not in good standing, it's gonna go towards your outstanding.
Okay, so it stays until the services are discontinued.
Mhm. That's how the ordinance reads, yes.
I called a couple of municipalities to try and figure out what the others do. Okay, called Decatur, much bigger than us. They don't charge a deposit, but the utility clerk said, we have talked about whether we should, because when people leave, they up and leave, they don't get, paid that last month and they're out the money. Bigger city, more financial revenue to withstand that, but they're thinking about whether or not they want to. Bern, I talked to both Callie and then the utility clerk. I know her name. I can't think of it right now. And she clarified a few things. So they charge the deposit, but they don't have to charge if you have more than one, but typically they do unless whatever. But they do offer a refund if you request it. But you have to be in good standing for like 3 years. You paid your bills on time for 3 years. If you ask for the refund, they'll return it, but they don't give it to you unless you ask for it, which is okay. It's not automatic. Portland does exactly what we do. They only return it when you leave or terminate your service. Then they give you a refund if you've paid your bills and you're up to date. So they're kind of different places. Utilities, the other utilities are for-profit organizations, so not quite apples to apples as far as a municipality, which we kind of talked about that earlier.
The difference is that those are regulated utilities.
Yeah.
The utilities are not regulated, you don't have to follow
Yeah.
those rules.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I knew we had talked about that, but
necessarily
yeah.
they're for profit. But my second concern is that according to the way our town ordinance is set up right now, like Mr. Ringer pointed out, and Tina clarified, nobody gets their deposit back in Geneva. So you can be a resident here indefinitely, you will not get your deposit back, and
Maybe we need to change that.
municipalities
Yeah.
can set it up however they wish, but it is standard in utilities that after a period of time, that deposit, assuming that the customer is in good standing, is refunded to the customer as a credit on their account.
And maybe Geneva needs to consider doing a refund,
Well, it sounds.
after so long or something.
To do that, we would have, if I'm reading this right, we would have to amend the ordinance.
Correct.
And I'm thinking right now, we need to maybe take this under some advisement for further discussion amongst ourselves. It's been this, like I say, I know it's been this way for a long time. It's a poor excuse, but that's been the interpretation. But we'll look into it,
May I ask a question?
certainly.
Residents that own homes as rental homes or that own apartment complexes that have metered services, are those residents paying multiple deposits? If they have 10 rental properties or 10 apartments, are they paying a deposit of, that would be $2,000 for a 10-unit metered service complex?
Each, like
I don't know
like
how
down
the
the
meters
trailer
work.
court, each trailer has its own meter. They have separate deposits for all them.
So
And Geneva Shores, I think is in a similar, or is that,
Geneva Shores
is that
water is
one?
included
Okay,
in their, yeah, they get
But
one
my
bill.
question would be whether the owner of all of those properties would be paying thousands of dollars in deposits.
What about the other apartments? What do they do, like north of me? Are they individual?
Individual, they're individual.
They're individual, but as the property owner, would it, if that property hypothetically were to transfer hands, all 10 meters would go to the new owner, would they not?
When you've got renters in there, so the renters are the ones paying the deposit.
don't the owners of properties? I don't know.
I think your question's a very good question. And I
As
think
far
you
as
brought up
the
something we need to pay
deposits
attention
go,
to.
I don't think it would require revising your ordinance, and the town council, Nick, you correct me if I'm wrong, has the authority to interpret the ordinance when clarifications are needed.
Well, for the return of the deposit, that would require a change.
Definitely, yeah. And I don't have the ordinance in front of me to see how it's worded right now. It depends on how far off we are from the legal interpretation or the letter of the law as it's written in the ordinance.
Yeah.
I'll make a note here to take a look into it.
But my third point is that in all of this, looking for ordinances, I have again experienced a bit of difficulty in finding the ordinance that I wanted to find, and this isn't the first time that I've encountered this problem. I know that a lot of work is being done on getting things organized and codified, and I commend all of you for the work that you're doing on that. But as a resident of the town, it is still very difficult to find the ordinance that you want to find. If you haven't looked at the website, it is a little disorganized, having ordinances in folders by year instead of by the topic that you're seeking.
I also think.
I'm very glad that the ordinances were codified, and I know that that was a big job and it took a long time. But I'm finding that not all of the amendments were included in the ordinance that is listed as the 2025 codified, and that's a problem. So I wanted to bring that to your attention as a council in case you were not aware.
We are aware of that. And we're working on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kurt Chaffins, stormwater issue on your property.
Yeah, I came up because I got problems with stormwater.
Can you step up to the podium, please?
And, I had talked to Agnes about it, went my steps that I was supposed to do. And I'm here. I'm asking for a drain out because I get the stormwater from the second house from the north to me and the one beside me all comes my way right down through the center of my driveway and my yard. It stays wet majority of the time. I can get a half inch of rain and have 2 inches of water in my yard. And all I'm asking for is a drain there. It cuts the road out the way it is. You had to fill it in. But, so I can hook in. I'm gonna try to get that water. I don't wanna shove it on down to my other neighbors. I could do that, but it's not fair to them. And I used to work for the town, so I know it's not right to do it. So that's why I'm asking for a drain out front.
How long have you lived at the house, sir? How long have you lived at that house,
In town or in the house?
in that house?
21 years. And I've complained about this ever since I've been there,
How long has it been, water been backing up like that?
since I've been there.
12 years.
And I've,
But you didn't take care of it when you worked for the town?
well, I couldn't.
Well, you could?
No, I couldn't.
Okay. Why couldn't-
I asked the town manager and all that, if I could get something
Sure.
done and that, I always got turned down.
Okay, turned down. Okay.
I do pay a stormwater fee, so I should be able to get rid of it.
It surely makes sense to
I
me.
mean, that's all I'm doing is asking for that. I'll take care of the rest of it. There ain't no use to me doing anything in my yard if I haven't got nowhere for it to go.
Kurt, in your mind, where would it go? I mean, where do you want it run to? Or is there a
Sure.
tile to hook it
It
into?
goes
Or
along the road and it goes right into a tile right down on the corner of, North Drive.
Rainbow, yeah. There's a storm drain right there.
Yeah,
So would we, as a town, start at the house two houses north of you and then run a line that would go through and you would
Well,
take care of your
if
yard
they
to go
don't
to.
tile it out there, it's not gonna go, it's still gonna come to me.
But should it be that we start there?
Well, it ought to be investigated, I would think,
Okay.
but,
Or that would mean them having to do tiling in their yard out to it. to
yeah,
the
if
road.
they didn't dump
And
water.
they did, yeah.
They could get water out and get rid of it, but I wouldn't need to care.
Yeah, true. Okay. So is that something we need to look into?
I know there are ordinances concerning casual water, state law concerning casual water. It can get to be a real bailiwick. I sat in a meeting a couple of months ago at the county, and that was one of the big problems. The neighbor was dumping water onto his property. He had blocked some water for some other stuff, and there are statutes on that. We'll do some investigating on it and see what we can come up with.
Okay, how soon should I know anything?
Matt, your schedule, I know is busy. Give us a couple of weeks. That sound reasonable?
All right, thank you.
Department reports, police, you're on deck.
Mark, let's go first, next please.
I'll see what the guy that controls the ordinance or the agenda can do about that.
You got the report, like I said, we had our radar all certified. Everything passed. We did have one of our, over the past month, one of our body cams that we purchased a couple years ago stopped working. We sent it back to Axon, it's unrepairable, so I'm waiting on a replacement cost for that to see what it's gonna be. I think when we bought them originally, they were around $500 or so. Axon's on the state PPA for vendor, so we get a significant discount going through them. Other than that, we did go out to the daycare at the north end of town. We was able to provide a full day of training for those. We've done their safety training, which included their active shooter, violent shooter, CPR, AED, first aid, and fire extinguisher training. We've done that for the entire staff out there. So this is the third year that we've been able to provide that training for them. We do that at no cost for them. Where we're at, National Night Out's coming up in August, the first Tuesday in August. So National Night Out, that'll be, I think, our third year of doing that also. We've got quite a good response from different departments and agencies that are gonna come down and participate with us. So if you come up, Youth Council's doing hot dogs again, so the first 100 people through get a hot dog and a bottle of water, some popcorn and some music and just a good time for fun fellowship and see what some of our other local and county agencies provide to the community. I know the health department's already said they're coming down. I just got an email from them. They're doing our back to school supplies and backpacks again this year. And they also are providing us with 100 bike helmets. So this is all at no cost. These are just agencies stepping up to provide for the folks and for the kids here in town.
What night is that again?
August 4th. It'll be down on Decatur Street. We asked for permission for that street. 6 to 8 will be the times for the actual National Night Out.
Yeah. And we approved that last month.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anything else?
Nope, I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fire department?
I have a really fast meeting tonight. I don't have a lot of items on the agenda this month. You see my report. Some of my outstanding questions, I believe, Matt has forwarded me his bill report. I think he's answered some of my questions about repairing the noted fire hydrants last year. I think Matt said that he's working on getting those planned to get replaced. Also, a question is the council's intention to purchase another 15 hydrants this year, so we can start getting those hydrants a scheduled replacement plan. So just curious if the council has talked about that, or is that something within the planning budget for this fiscal year? And the other item was.
Put it in the budget for this year.
Yeah,
We talked about it
We budgeted
back
for it.
when we did the first ones of doing a systematic
Yeah.
replacement.
Hydrant rental was the name of the account, right?
We amended the hydrant rental ordinance so we can use it for repairs and maintaining and replacing the fire hydrants, so there's money there. It's 50, maybe 57,000, I'll have to look.
Yeah.
While you're looking at that, do you know when we got the first 15?
October, I think, is when they finally got delivered.
October.
There was a
Yeah.
delay there that, I think they were ordered in June or July last year, and it wasn't until October that they finally got delivered. So that hindered some of the start of the replacement.
Do you know how many we've got installed?
I think there's 4 installed now out of the 15. Yeah. We've got 4 installed out of the 15 currently today. I think Matt says in the next week or two, he's working on a plan to start replacing more.
$57,521 is what's in the budget.
Like I said, just trying to keep it, it's an outstanding item that, as the fire department, it is a concern. The other item was the red gold, getting that fire loop back to that fire hydrant in the parking lot. That is one of the main fire hydrants that we would want to use if red gold were to have a fire. And I believe Matt has some quotes on how to get that.
Yeah, we're
Take care of,
gonna be discussing that in a little bit.
But really the only question I have, because I think Matt's going to answer most of that here in a minute, is the council's plan to look at purchasing another 15 hydrants. Obviously, Matt would need to go get quotes and all that stuff if that's the council's desire.
And that'll include the new couplings and everything too.
That's what we did last year, is it had the adapters and everything included. Last year I did apply for a grant to buy those adapters. We did not get awarded the grant for that. So working on trying to find a grant that I can apply for, because that current grant that I pursued last year has not been opened yet this year. So I'm looking for a different kind of alternative.
When you say connector, you mean the Storks?
The Storks
Because
adapter, yep.
last year we ordered them separately.
Yeah, they were ordered separate.
We have the hydrants and we got the Storks connections separate,
Yeah,
but we've got them.
The quote, I think, was presented, had them totaled
Mhm.
together because they came from the same supplier. But yeah, you're right, they were not installed, they were 2 separate parts.
and bathroom plumbing.
Bathroom plumbing, I'm having a hard time getting contractors to get back with me with quotes.
Okay,
So I think it's evidently the busiest season for all plumbers right now, because everyone I've called, yeah, I'll get back, and I keep calling and they keep ignoring my phone calls. So
okay.
right now it's not an emergency. We want to get it taken care of, but I'm continually, hopefully next month I can give you some better.
But we did have it jetted, so we don't have any.
Nothing's been jetted. We don't have a clean out
Jetted.
installed.
Okay.
None of that stuff's been performed. I've reached out to several different plumbing agencies. I've even went to some excavating companies, because I don't know if you technically have to be licensed to just put in a clean out, because we're not putting in new plumbing for sewer. So it'd just be putting a clean out so we can access it. Most excavation companies said that they are certified to do that kind of work, and I have not got quotes from them yet either. So I've asked about 5 different companies, and
Keep trying.
I will.
Do we want to give an answer about the 15? I mean, we budgeted and we approved it last year. Are we going to order the 15 this year as
Do
far
we
as the
have a motion to
council's?
do that?
I think you're gonna have to approve Matt to go pursue quotes, because I think it's over the
Oh,
procurement
yes.
policy, I think, requires Matt to get quotes for the council.
Matt, will we have time to do it this year, to put 15 more
I
hydrants
want
in?
to talk about that. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, if we'd have done Matt first tonight, we would have maybe
We'll
avoided.
talk to that guy that's in charge of it.
Yeah, there you go. That's all I had, if there's no other questions in regards to anything else.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Utilities, Matt.
So you should have all received my report. Just some things I'm highlighting real quick, and then we'll get to the real meat and potatoes. We did have a safety training that we just finished up. Actually, it was the first week of July, but it was a near miss reporting. We did have a water main leak water main leak, there on US 27, by the alley at Abracadabra and Andrews Building. Come real close, it was real close to the highway. But I do want to thank everyone for coming out and supporting the guys as they got that fixed. We did replace a hydrant on, in front of 123 South Drive. And then we dug up the hydrant there at US 27 in Lincoln, inspected it and put it back in service. We sprayed for mosquitoes right before the holidays. So we'll look at that again and see if how conditions are looking. The community crossing grant was started and completed during the month. Looks pretty good. We have one issue over there on the corner of Harrison and Winchester that had a small hole. Went down there, put some cold pack in it, packed it real good. I'm gonna see if we have a underlying issue or if it was just a fluke. I did speak with Brooks about that, and that was their recommendation to do it this time. To kind of go along with that community crossing grant, we did replace a couple culverts out there on East Lake Road. We got that completed prior to paving. Just had a couple of them are completely broke down on the underneath side. And then to kind of go along with that project as well, William Street has been completed down there as Redwood completed their project. An IT update real quick. We are planning on doing over the switchover the weekend of 7/24. I think the plan is right now that is a Friday. We're going to start at approximately noon because they got to take our system down to do the migration. I've been having many meetings and conference calls with the group from ESI, doing some migration testing and things like that. They're doing some backups in the system. All has been going very well. And then that following Wednesday is planning doing the phone switchover. So right now they're going to be sending us phones that are Wi-Fi compatible. So I can physically hook them up to the system, set them side by side with the old phone, and then one will stop working and the other will start. So it should be pretty seamless, and that'll happen on the 29th.
And the 29th is a Wednesday?
Wednesday, yes. We are looking at options with that has the automated answering system that we can direct calls, which I think would be pretty handy. But we're going to talk about that and try to get all that set up.
And will this be done in the afternoon or in the morning, the phone switch over on Wednesday?
We get a little bit closer, I'll ask them and see. But I've been more focused on the IT side of it since it's the week prior.
For either one of them, would it be beneficial for us to have the office closed during that time?
On the 24th, that Friday afternoon, I would say probably so. The computer systems, I'm not sure exactly how long that migration will take. So they was concerned about one of their outside sources that they work with. Their office is closed earlier, so I asked them to bump it up to about noon so we don't have any problems. So I would say that 24th, potentially it would be a good idea to shut it down.
So we can let the public know that we won't be open for normal business that afternoon.
As far as the phone switchover, I don't think that's going to be minimal impact. The old one will still work until this new one starts.
Okay.
Okay, so getting to the good stuff here. So the red gold main water line, it would be, if you got your presentation, I've got it on the very back page. So we went down, we got the locates done, went down and investigated exactly what we needed to do and was looking at that. Coming across the north drive, we would have to cut through two curbs, their driveway, shut down their service of that driveway so that they wouldn't be able to come in there. And then just looking at the cost of rework, replacing the curbs, replacing the concrete or the drive, the asphalt, and then coming back through, filling with rock and seeding and everything. I got a hold of Ish Excavating and just asked him, what would the cost of boring that line in? A lot less invasive and intrusive into that area. And the cost is in the file there. And I kind of, itemized some things out there, the best estimates, looking at market value. And to me, it was a heck of a lot cheaper to do the boring and would be a lot quicker and a lot less work on the tail end of it, doing the restoration work. So I didn't know, since this was like a repair situation, because we were putting back in a line, if it was something I needed council approval on, or, you know, if I needed to go ahead and get that at this time.
Council approval.
Pardon me?
I believe council approval is needed.
Well, it certainly makes sense. We're talking half the cost here.
Yeah.
You know, make a motion that we go with the boring. I mean,
I'll second
we're gonna
that
do one or
motion.
the other. I mean, we might as well go with the less expensive option, less invasive option.
And Agnes seconded?
Yes.
Yeah. Any other discussion? If not,
So as you're getting ready to vote on, I'll follow up with Ish just to make sure, but he did have a project. It was a 2-day project. It was the 20th and 21st. And at that time, he said he was going to be available, so it happened fairly quickly. I would guess the following week, because he's got to get EJP source to come down and fuse the piping so that he bores through, but I would think within the next couple of weeks, that project could be wrapped up.
Super.
we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes.
The next issue I wanted to talk about was the mobile home park there in the south end of town. My understanding, and again, there's a map. Somewhere in the middle. It says water issues at Hershey Mobile Home Park.
Expenditures or not, there it is.
So I showed a location there. It's be the southeast side coming into the mobile home park there. That is where the shutoff valve is located. And again, to my understanding, that the meter was located at that point at one time. Since then, and I'm assuming this was many years ago, but since then, meters were individually put into the either inside of the mobile homes or just outside in a pit. But as we went out there and fixed one of the water leaks, and you can see by the left picture there, after our shutoff valve, it's actually poly with stainless steel clamps. So that's not town work there, in my opinion. But is right now they currently have a small leak that's in the bare or the open lot there that's straight in off of Ringgold, where the top arrow is pointing to. I have no idea how to locate that. You know, it could be a 30 by 30 area that we're digging up trying to find poly line. And I guess, in my opinion, that anything after that shutoff valve should not be the town's, and I just need direction from the council of if I'm thinking factually there of what we need to do.
I'm thinking you are correct in that assumption. Don't know, I'm like you, I don't know when this was done. Probably the people that did it aren't around anymore. And why it was done that way, but I know we would not put poly line in for any reason, something like that. I don't think it's our cost, I think it's the owners. It's my opinion.
Do you know, is a big share of them on poly lines? I mean, did the rest of the trailers, did that line go from the shut off valve and it turned into poly?
Yeah, we
Does that
actually,
feed the rest of the trailer park?
and I think it was either trailer 8 or 9, which is the north end. We was just down there a few weeks prior. They had a slight leak for the meter, which was outside of the trailer. And we did the hydrovac down to that and stainless steel clamps on poly. So
So we
I'm
went-
under the assumption that everything through there is poly.
Yeah, well, it certainly sounds that way. And I'm kind of confused, but if you put a water meter on that line, did we not know it was poly then?
How many years ago was that done?
My understanding, it was someone said 20 to 25 years ago.
Well, see, Charlie Hershey was the town and he would probably put it in. So I've got a feeling at the time it was considered his property and he put it in because I'm looking at the GIS and most of them, it's one block of, it's not separate lots. It's, so where the meter goes in is, like Matt said, it's probably on the owner.
Well, it seems fraught with problems because it's gonna continue to give us a problem until it's all hardwired in.
Yes.
And so the thing is, this is gonna continue to have this over and over.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, that basically from the shut off to the trailer is more of a service line. In my opinion, that should be on the landlord to address.
See, Ringgold isn't even a town street, is it? It's privately owned. That's the street in the middle. This one.
Oh, this says Ringo here too. Oh, maybe it comes all the way.
Could continue on.
Yeah, so I guess I was looking for, some backing or something that I could take to that
See, that's all
landowner and
private
say,
property.
you need to bring things up to standard or you need to address the issues. Because you're right, I mean, once, that's 2 stainless steel clamps that now have, in my opinion, have folded. How many more is out there?
Well, let me count. Get an idea of how many there's left out there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know for sure. I mean, I'm not speaking for the council or anything, but I'm not sure we want to go ahead and incur all of these costs as we continue to have water leaks out there on a system that we didn't put in. And
Well,
I'm
that
not sure why
trailer-
we should maintain it.
Trailer park predates me. It's been there as long as I can remember, so, and it's like, I'm looking on the GIS, it's one block. I would think that we'd have one line going and then they have to tree off of it at their own cost.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't want to cause the Hershey's any problem, but we treat, we treat all our other citizens.
Right.
That we go to your meter and then the meter to the house is your responsibility.
Consensus, is there a problem
at least now.
for now?
Yeah.
So can be proven otherwise? Pursue that avenue, see what you can come up with.
You're digging up some old sins.
Yeah. So you're saying you want us to troubleshoot that water leak then? Is that what you're saying?
I think we need to contact the Hershey's.
No, I
Okay.
think that we need to go ahead and apply this back to them. This is their problem. If they want to come to us and talk, I'm more than willing to talk to them about it. But bottom line is right now, we're just not gonna jump in and
Is it
start
leaking
fixing
bad
all
now
these
or they
leaks.
using, is it consumption?
The ground's wet, and actually the adjacent homeowner to the south of there is complaining. And the landlord of the mobile home park is just mowing through the mud.
What?
They're mowing through the mud.
Okay.
Can we put our sounders on any of that, to our loggers, and see if there's anything that we could find from that, or is that not compatible with plastic piping?
I don't know that.
Is
I'd have to
it
investigate.
one
that.
meter or a bunch of meters there in the trailer park?
There's a meter in either inside, like the one of them we looked at was right at the water heater inside of the, and then the one that we fixed that had the leaky, was just outside of it in a meter pit. So it varies even from trailer to trailer.
But yet, like you said, it's leading all off of one line that the town brought it this far.
Yeah,
And the
but it
meter
sounds
used to
like-
be there
Yeah, but they
and it fed
treed
to
off
us.
of it.
Yeah.
And made a mess.
Eventually.
Well, no, it sounds like they've got a bunch of meters in there, but it's not.
But this water loss would be prior to a meter.
No, I think the loss is prior to the meters,
Yeah,
isn't it?
correct.
It's prior to the meters.
Prior to any of the meters.
But the old meter used to be right there where the shut off was.
Correct.
Right, but it's not there no more.
Yeah, so
it's just a shut
technically,
off
to
there.
me, technically, that's property owners. Because of where the meter used to be when it was a one meter unit, and they moved it to the other, to me, they assumed that liability from that line from the shuttle.
Yeah, it's on your side of the fence.
Right.
Matt, would it cost us a lot to just fix it right now? Just,
Yeah, right now, I wouldn't even know where to begin to dig. I mean, that's I don't know, a 30 by 30 lot,
okay.
and there's no way of detecting the poly. I mean, we can't do a locate on it.
I was just wondering if we couldn't just fix it to stop the leak and then at the same time contact the Hershey's and say, no more. Just, we've got a problem here and we need to sit down and resolve this.
What size line is that poly? 1 inch, 1.5?
Yeah,
Two.
I'd probably say it's a smaller size. I mean, I
And it's
went down.
feeding all those, and feeding all those trailers. So the water pressure has to be terrible.
Yeah, it's probably a 1 or 1.25 inch poly. It's not very big.
Like I say, it's my opinion, it's as much as we'd like to help, it's not our problem.
I think we
But
need to contact
we
the
will
Hershey's
work with them and see
ASAP
what
and just-
we can come up with.
Okay. And then the last item, it'd be the second to last page in the PowerPoint presentation. Right now, I'm not looking for approval to build, I'm just looking for approval to investigate. We did talk with the TIF group, and they approved some monies towards the construction of a utility building. I have spoken with Mark Wynn. We were looking at putting it in the same location as the tent, but as we was just looking at ground, it's going to have to be brought up quite a bit in elevation. And then as we was doing some locates out there to see what infrastructure was in the ground, that thing was lighting up like a Christmas tree, and we did not want to put a structure over top water lines. So we was looking at, so this would be just on the inside of where the tent's at. Looking at about a 60 by 70 building with a couple overhead doors, a couple man doors, and some basic electricity for lighting. No heat, no water. And again, this is just to store the equipment from the town that currently is lining that fence to the south there. But TIF has already approved, if we construct this, they'll pay up to $80,000 towards the construction. Guess I'm just looking, do I need approval to start looking at some bids and to going down that path? And then ultimately getting approval to construct.
It's an unheated building, isn't it? It's unheated. It'll be,
Unheated.
Unheated.
yeah.
Yeah, just a pole barn with some basic
Storage.
electricity. Yeah.
Yeah, I make a motion to move along with that.
Motion to proceed,
You
Stan.
Second.
Carlin, second. Any other discussion? Not all in favor of proceeding, Matt, proceeding with this project, signify by saying aye.
Now,
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
All right.
One real quick thing, we noticed that the deadline has passed for the rehabilitation of the cratering and stuff with Bun Construction. Nick and I talked about it earlier. We're gonna have to do some more. The equipment's here, the dirt's here, the people aren't here. Don't know why. So,
but one day that I seen them out working on Spring Street, they cleared a small little drainage area from the woods to Spring Street, and then the equipment is still sitting there.
and there's still a pile of dirt there too.
But I haven't seen them back since, but I did see them out there working one day on that. But
Yeah, I did speak to the gentleman who's running the excavator out there, and he has it coming out of the woods, as you stated, and then down to the drain, but they didn't have a transom out there to look at, elevation or anything.
eyeballing it.
Yeah, so he was waiting on a crew to come down. I know that they've spread some dirt out there at 120 Winchester. But as I've seen a picture, there's rocks all through that fill dirt. One of them was about the size of a foot. So it was not very professional.
Yeah.
I have not been out there on Holly Lane to see if any work's been done there yet, but I haven't seen them back. They've got a dump truck down at the brush site that's been there since Actually, it was the Thursday prior to the 4th of July holiday. That was when I spoke to the gentleman. So it'd been, what, the second?
I would have expected if they brought equipment to town, that they would have just finished it up and just left. I mean, if I bring equipment to town and work a half a day and then just leave it here, I mean, it doesn't make much sense, but.
What did he tell you about the day before the holiday?
Yeah, so when I spoke to him on that Thursday, it was about 12:30, and he said, I'm trying to hurry up because it being a holiday, I'm only allowed to work till noon. And that was the last I seen him.
Okay, keep at 'em.
I did follow up with Ryan Lakefeld, sent him the pictures and stuff of what we've seen.
And I know Nick has to follow up on this
Yeah.
too, so we're,
Matt, would you mind sending me like a quick bullet point summary of what you found, like what still needs to be done? I can twist Donnie's arm a little bit more here.
Okay.
Last I reached out to him was last Wednesday, and he had said the work was scheduled for tomorrow, which would have been during his response that next day. So we're talking about the 10th is when they should have completed everything here.
Okay, yep, we'll do.
So,
One more thing, Matt. Can you give us just a little bit rundown on how Neptune is doing for you?
Yes, I've got that in the presentation as
I've
well.
seen that. Are you finding it friendly enough to work with?
Yeah, we still have been looking at some of the flag issues. So for instance, there was one that, it read on the 26th or 27th, and it come billing time, it didn't, so we had to go out and do a manual read. Trent went out to the homeowner's, property and found that they had placed a silver metal plate over top of it. So that it wouldn't read, like right in the middle of the driveway. Yeah.
Okay.
There's been a couple others he's been looking at, so I had to follow up with him. A lot of them are more of antenna issues or.
So how many meters do you think we're not reading? Do you know? I mean,
It was
ballpark.
less than a dozen maybe
Okay.
that he went out and read last month.
Less than a dozen.
Well, I'm thinking 23, but there's some that.
Half of them had the 80 code
Some
on
of them that don't have a radio aid. Some of them, we don't charge them for water, so it doesn't need it.
Okay.
So I would say maybe 10 to 12.
Have you contacted the owners or have you contacted the homeowners that aren't reading to find out what these problems are or?
I know Trent has set up at least appointments with 2 of them.
Okay.
But I'll check back with him and look at
To
those ones.
find out whether or not, if we're not, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, cool, thank you.
And then you said you were going to address the questions we had about the extra 15 hydrants or getting in the hydrants. You had some
Oh,
ideas on
yes.
that, right?
So, sorry about that.
It's okay. I know you said you had some ideas.
Yeah, so as we was looking at it, I mean, there's a lot of work that's going on in town. But I was looking at it, if there was a way of supplementing the resources that we have. I'd actually reached out to Andy Yoder to see, as we worked on the one at 123 South Drive, we was a man down and then had another one leave for a doctor's appointment just as the water line blew off. And it was kind of an holy crap moment. And I called Andy, I said, where you at? And he says, I'll be there in a minute. So he shared a lot of advice on how to fix it. Actually was down in the hole digging. And I think he is very knowledgeable of our water system. And so I reached out to him and asked him, you know, would you be willing to look at if you come on as a contract or like a part-time employee, can you give me a wage? Or if you just did the project. Was supposed to meet with him today. Our crawls didn't pass. We kind of got tied up in a meeting with the IT today. He's actually coming back in town tomorrow to talk with me about it, to see if he'd just give me a cost per hydrant of him installing them, and then you know, how many what's timing look like? Can you just start the project and get it done, or is it 2 a week? So I got to talk to him about that. But I guess I wanted to see what your all opinions of that was. Of course, you know, we'll have to be there for, you know, to assist in the inspection and all that, but just trying to figure out how to get all of these things done and everyone happy at the same time. we're still working on street patching and everything else, so there's a lot going on.
I think that's a viable option.
I hate to see us wait a whole another month to find
Yeah.
out. Is there a way we could get information prior to, because it's
Right.
been well over a year
Yeah,
now.
I'd like for him to get
We're
started
getting
right
nowhere.
away, and
Yeah.
he said absolutely he would love to do them.
Yeah.
If we can get approval for it, so, I mean, he could jump on the last 11 and then
Mhm.
we can get these other 15 in here if, all of them approve of what he's saying, money wise. He
Yeah.
can just knock out the 26 hydrants and be done for the year.
Get us a number, we can have a 5-minute special meeting and approve it.
Great.
So the hydrant rental account that we have, the appropriation account,
Mhm.
that's,
To-
we theoretically could use that to pay Yoder Excavating to do it, but then we wouldn't have the money to buy 15 more.
Well, it depends on how much it would
It just is gonna,
cost.
depends on how much it's gonna cost. If
Yeah.
there's gonna be money in the water, wastewater,
Well, I hate not to be able to get the 15 hydrants though.
I'm just tossing that out there.
Well, and then the extra that we were trying to get this project done because we're so far behind.
Just tossing it out there.
Yeah.
Something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I'd say get us some numbers and we can have a special meeting to.
Yeah,
to
And we
proceed.
can look at alternative funding.
I should have something tomorrow, so I'll just, once I have all the details, I'll reach out.
And then,
Okay.
and then Tina, look for some alternative funding to see if we can come up with some. Okay. Anything else?
Not for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
New business. This is just for an introduction. There might be one or two questions, but just for introduction. Today, some of us in council attended the county council's meeting for a pilot request, which is a type of income tax, or excuse me, property tax reduction program or elimination program. The short presentation that we had from Kevin Biggs representing Geneva Shores, which is where this project would be for renovations and stuff, was informative, but then again, he is on the schedule for the August 11th meeting to come and give us a presentation. I plan on inviting county council members and county commissioners if they would like to attend also. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot of information at this time, so, any real quick questions?
I'm sure it'll be in the Decatur Democrat because
Oh, yeah.
it was there, and
Yeah.
so you can read what was transpired, but basically it's a renovation of Geneva Shores for $2.5 million, and they would like to have their basically property tax frozen.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Yes.
Very.
The answer is pretty simple.
Traffic signs and some handicap spots by the dentist office. I gave each person a sheet of some proposals. We had talked about this before, and we really needed to get a detailed list to give Nick some guidance on, because we're going to have to change the ordinance on some of them. Some parking changes that were proposed. Right now, they cannot find any kind of thing in the parking ordinance to deal with 2-hour parking on Line Street. A possible thing would be that we have 2-hour parking from the hours of 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then no restrictions for weekends. Something to consider. Changing the parking designation for one spot on the north side of East Line Street in front of the dentist's office to a handicap parking only space. Agnes, someone told me that they had talked to the dentist's office, they're all for it.
Oh, I didn't. I don't know who did.
Or was it
Yeah.
Andrew? Do you remember? Someone
It's on the
told me
packet
that.
somewhere. Was it Sally maybe? I'd forwarded an email.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Is there no handicap parking anywhere on the street right now?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the only
In
one,
front of the town hall
the only
and
one is in front of the
across-
town hall and then
and
across the
Liberal.
post office.
But nothing on that end?
But nothing on that end. And this would be the very first space. We closed that first parking space a couple of years ago to no
Right.
parking. This would be the next space there. Some traffic flow changes we talked about are suggesting the alley behind the new police station between High Street and the cross alley on the west side of the library, make that one-way west from High Street. And then also add a stop sign at the intersection on the northbound alley at that same intersection.
Well, we have Laura here. What do you think of that?
I heard about it, I questioned.
I mean, would it hurt the library? Because we're gonna have the police station. It'd be nice for the police to have one way in case there's an emergency.
Sure, okay, makes sense.
One of the things we talked about too was redesignating the speed limits in the alleys and downtown to 10 miles per hour. Redesignating the speed limit in the alley on the south side of the business district from from Railroad Street to 27 to 10 miles per hour. And then add some removable speed bumps in both alleys to kind of help slow traffic down. Some traffic control signs changes that we're talking about on William Street at Red Gold and Fifth Street, removing the two stop signs on William Street, making that a through street, but maintaining the stop sign at Fifth and Williams as you're eastbound. This would help facilitate smoother traffic flow for
So they come there. So
Red Gold truck routes.
no exception.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
I don't.
Add a no outlet sign as you enter Wabash Valley Drive and Hickory Lane from the South Rainbow Drive.
I think because they.
Because it's kind of one of those gray areas where it's a dead end, but it's also, there's still a plotted street off of there. So to me, it qualifies under the no outlet sign as opposed to dead end. And this is something that some of the residents on that street would like to see. Change the yield signs on both the North Drive and the South Drive at the lake to stop signs. And the reason being that both intersections, if you're trying to get back onto Rainbow Road, there is some difficulty seeing over the hills. And with the trees and other stuff, making them a stop sign instead of a yield sign. Change the yield sign at the northbound end of Railroad Street at Rainbow Road to a stop sign. It was suggested that because of the increased truck traffic at Casey's and other increase, that should be changed to a stop sign instead of a yield sign. And then in the alleyway between Decatur Street and 27, which would be between the east-west alley, that would be the alley between Line Street and Shackley. There used to be a four-way stop sign at that intersection of the alley in the middle of the street. Those signs, for whatever reason, have disappeared. Some people would like to see them reestablished. These are the suggestions. Do you want to proceed with them as suggested? So Nick can, because we're gonna have to change some things in the ordinance, or do we have other discussion?
Other discussion.
Okay,
Where'd this come from? This is a lot of bullet points here for someone to put a paper in front of me here.
I did a lot
I
of
think Lynn did
I
it.
did a lot of it. I talked to Dwayne, I talked to Matt, I talked to others, and I just put this together in the last few days.
We had it in a council meeting that he had a committee formed that they were going to look at this
Yeah.
a couple months ago.
And Nick had asked that it's gonna need to change the, if we do these things, it has to change the ordinance, and he needed a pretty much detailed list of what we were looking at, so. That's where it came from.
What's the speed limit in the alley now?
Good question.
I don't think there is any.
There probably isn't.
I'm not, like on the alley I'm on south of the downtown, it's a road race through there. I mean, there used to be stop signs there, but they've been all taken out over the years, and it's hard for me to walk my dog down that at night because people come flying through there and to bypass.
I've never been on it, but I
There's
don't know
two,
what the speed
there's
limit
two
was.
barns on the corners that make that a blind corner.
Do we have speed limits on alleys around here at all? I've never seen a speed limit sign in an alley before. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't think there is. I think it's just one of those things that,
I know some municipalities do. I don't think we do.
Looks like we're gonna do a lot more stopping.
Don't have that printed out.
Dwayne, do you have any input? Objections, objections, suggestions?
No, I was looking, trying to find, because I thought we had for some reason, I thought that the alleys were already 15 mile an hour, that's why I forgot setback for people.
I don't have that portion of the ordinance in front of me. I printed out the other two sections for the traffic schedules.
Well, can we research it till next month?
Yeah. Take this under advisement and we'll push next month. We'll table it until then. We can
I think it's a very good report, Lynn.
add, subtract, divide, whatever we want to do with it.
Or if there's, other areas that somebody knows of. I think what you put together was good.
I don't know if we need to have, if we did want to do this, would we have to have a public hearing as part of the process for this or not?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. One other thing, a couple of people have expressed concerns about bicycles being ridden on sidewalks. We can't find anything in the ordinance about that either. It's kind of a safety hazard, but what do we want to do with that?
Do you know what other municipalities might have, Nick, at all, as far as bicycles on sidewalks?
I do not,
All right, let's,
but it is one of those things, if you wanted to regulate it, it could be added to.
Guess we can research it, I suppose, just like the other thing.
Sure.
All
And
right.
it's generally discouraged to have bikes on
yeah,
sidewalk. I don't know if it's usually in the municipal ordinance or not, but we can add it if we
But
desire.
bicycles is talking, state law talks about bicycles and follow the traffic rules. However, it talks about both municipalities can regulate when the bicycles to be ridden on the sidewalks or not ridden on the sidewalks. So we couldn't find anything in our ordinance that says you can't ride a bicycle on the sidewalk.
My own personal concern is just in the business district.
To not have it in the business district?
Just they can get off of them and push them to a parking spot like at the library or at one of the stores or something like that. But as far as riding the thing down the
So
sidewalk,
walking them on a sidewalk might be okay, because that'd be safe.
Yeah.
I'd hate to see them, younger kids riding them on our main street, because that would be kind of dangerous.
hopefully they don't do that. But
Yeah.
it's something else that had a concern expressed, so throw it out to
A lot
council
of
for
kids ride bikes.
consideration.
Can I leave it? Comment?
Certainly.
Real quick.
Yes, you may.
I have at the Geneva Library, there is a bicycle rack and it is on the sidewalk. Just keep that in mind if you do create an ordinance where the bicycles can't be ridden on the sidewalk, that they're allowed to come up and put their bike on the rack.
Yeah. That was in the thought process. Moving on, old business, we are still discussing, after all this time, the PACER certification. Matt came up with a suggestion.
Yeah, so, I guess get back in front of the microphone here. So I sent you all a presentation, basically, I don't want to get hung up on the format of it, but just, the key points in it. I did go through some training with LTAP that Purdue puts on, and they was really stressing during the training the importance of what the PACER is. It's not just every 2 years go out grade the roads and move on. It is a requirement for get community crossing grants. They also recommended that not only a person like in my position, but also a streets person obtain the PACER certification because of you're going to be able to compare the numbers and keep a more even keel of a rating, because two people are going to go out and look at a street and have different opinions. But they also teach of how to train properly so you can have that good rating. But they talked about, they recommend doing them every year because it's going to help you with your 5 and 10 year plan of looking at streets, not only for the community crossing grant with repaving, but also looking at, if you got to look at culverts, if you've got to look at, just going through and doing the sealing and things like that to try to keep the condition of the roads up, to keep you from having to go through and doing a complete construction. But, basically, the recommendation I seen, I did call, Burn. They don't have a stipend or anything that they have. But talking with the street superintendent up there, they said it is kind of written into their job for him and his assistant, that is part of their job. So I'm assuming that they're paid accordingly, for that. But as I was also doing some research online, there were some various dollar amounts that was out there. But one place had recommended basically to do a one-time certification bonus, that once they got the certification, give them $750, and then basically $750 per year as a stipend. Now, this also, it's not just going out looking at the streets and doing the grading. It's maintaining the transit plan that you put out there for the asset management. Keeping that updated. You got to look at, I've already got an asset management file started, but you got to go out, you got to put your grading in there. You got to keep it updated. When it was the last touch, when it was the last service, when did we last seal it, when did we top it? So there's, some work that goes into that as well. But, also looking at, what the impact would be if we went to an outside source. So it averaged anywhere from getting a consultation of $2,000 to $4,000 of having someone else having to come in. So, minimum case could be $2,000 as you're looking at, two $750 per year stipends. Again, it's a cost avoidance to not have to have someone else do it. So it was kind of a stab for me just to throw this out there to kind of get the juices flowing on the thoughts. But this can be tweaked, rewritten, or whatever for,
How often does the certification have to be recertified? Is it annual or every couple of years? Do you know?
They do have some, I don't know exactly on that. I know once you get the certification, there is some, LTAP puts on continuing training. But, the training I did was all webinar.
Yeah.
So it was very simple. They do offer one in person that's in Lafayette. So, as you're getting into it, I would recommend doing it in person. That way you're hands-on, but maybe continuing education type of thing, webinar.
Right now, Trent is our only certified.
Trent is our only certified one, yes.
He did go do it?
Trent
Yeah.
Trent does have a
Okay.
certification.
He
yes.
did it, and he had to use those ratings and had to turn all that. So when you do the PACER rating, you got to put it into the LTAP program,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to follow their template and everything, and then that's what you use you pull that out to do the community crossing grant.
Mm-hmm.
It is a must. If you don't have that, you don't get it.
Yeah,
You're
I think it's a
automatically
must this year.
And how often do we have to do a passer street grading? Is that annually?
kicked out. LTAP, they recommend it annually.
They recommend or they require?
They recommend.
Okay, so what about the requirements?
The requirements, they said every 2 years, but they
Okay.
recommend every year.
Right.
Your roads are going to deteriorate, and again, you're
Sure.
looking at managing your assets.
I personally don't have a problem with as far as this $750, bonus. I don't want to pay, I don't want to get down to hourly. Because we were talking about doing hourly. I don't want to do that.
I didn't hear
But
what
the
you said.
bottom line is that we have,
Education, continuing that kind of stuff, but just.
because they wanted, they were talking at some point in time that they were talking $1 an hour or whatever bonus was, but I go rather think about just a stipend or a bonus or whatever it is, but we need, on this paperwork is fine. I think we just need to limit the number of people that's on it.
Yeah, I was talking about that, this was just a general statement, but.
Sure.
We would need to put some wordings around it, based upon our ordinance that, to get the certification, it's gonna be council approved, and, it's not just gonna be everyone getting it. There's gotta be some stipulations, so this needs tweaked a little bit and reworded.
And I think we fell a little bit under the trap of the spray certification.
Okay.
Because we didn't need 2 people certified in order to spray in town. We're paying 2 people to be certified. In a situation like this, if Trent decides to hold the pastor certification, it's fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but I just don't need everybody on it.
Yep.
It's not necessarily there.
Yep. I think if we head down the road with, in the future, we need to protect ourselves by setting limits. And maybe we need to have a certification checklist that, you know, here's the stipend amount, here's how many is allowed to, who currently holds that. You know, just so we can keep an eye on it so it don't get out of control.
I agree.
And our salary ordinance does say any additional certifications have to be approved by council first.
Yeah.
So we can control how many people have it, but I think it should be written in the document. I agree. You know, per salary ordinance regulation or whatever.
I mean, I'm not sure, Agnes. but Parent, how did it work with the spray certification? Do you remember?
It was just, I don't know how we ended up getting 2 people have it.
Yeah.
It's just
okay.
45
So
cents
that's-
per
It
hour.
didn't stop what happened, but I mean, obviously, if we have 2 spray certifications, it apparently was cleared by council.
Yeah,
time.
well, probably it was, but I don't know if we had that in our salary ordinance at the time that we got that. We
That's true.
might not have had that wording in there then. I know we added it within the time I've been on, but I don't know what year we added that. This is a question for Nick possibly. With the way this is written, is this one of those things that you would take full council signatures and to do it?
Oh, I didn't see the backside to this.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I
Sorry.
didn't know. It
I
doesn't
was
matter to
just
me.
reading them.
A lot of things it takes all council to sign, but I don't know if this one does.
This requires an amendment of our salary ordinance,
So it'd probably take,
is what I'm
All
saying
of us
here. If
do.
we're talking about new financial incentives and payments for our town employees, we'll need to amend the salary ordinance.
yeah,
Mhm.
okay,
So we really
So
just
you
need
take
to,
5
do-
signatures.
we just need to.
Right. yeah.
right.
We just need to approve a number tonight, is what we want, and then we can go through
We
the
can bring it
salary.
back.
Is everybody happy with the 750, or do we want to go a different number?
750 plus the first year, 750 twice.
What was recommended in this?
The only thing that I would like to see, and for discussion, is I would like to see the 750 annual cost bonus when it's finished. Like, we'll give you 750 whenever you get the certification. You complete the year, you complete the certification, you turn the whole thing in. If it works out, boom, 750. Right? That way that it's based off the fact is that just January 1, it don't give you another 750. You got to complete the process and have it turned in and completed with LDAP in order to get your 750 annual.
So based
Does that make
on
sense?
completion and
It makes
evidence.
sense because we're
Yeah,
not
you're-
paying you for.
I'm not paying you
Paying you
just to hold
upfront,
it for a year. I'm
we're paying
paying
you
you
afterwards.
your annual 750
After
comes
your
when you do
completion.
the job and get it completed.
It's
Because
You
if
did
somebody
the job,
quits
yeah.
3 months into the
Performance-based
job,
incentive.
we don't get the money back.
Performance-based,
Yep, yep.
performance-based incentive.
It's more of a performance based.
Yeah.
Just gotta show completion and evidence.
Yep, completion and it's all passed and everything was done the way it's supposed to be, and then you qualify for the 750.
Okay.
That make sense?
Yes.
Everybody?
Yeah, perfect sense.
Do I have a motion to proceed?
Got a motion?
Second.
Andrews, Fan? Any additional comments? All in favor of proceeding with our discussion here, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, Nick, you'll prepare the appropriate
Thank you, Matt.
changes. Thank you. Don't sit down. Rekeying Town Hall and the Police Department, you and Dwayne together?
I haven't spoken with anyone about that.
Yes, Neil and I have been playing phone tag. He was out of state, Colorado for a while, and then he came back and I was in North Carolina, so hopefully we'll get hooked up here in the next week and get it all figured out.
Okay. Clerk treasurer, utility,
You slipped groundworks.
groundworks, no updates on that.
Okay.
That's on me. I didn't get it done.
Well, I've had one of our local contractors, he saw the bid and he wants to talk to me, so
Okay.
he has some concerns about it, because just the
Yeah, that's,
cost and the benefit.
it was expensive.
Hmm.
Utility write-off request, Tina?
You have in your packet, we had an account, the gentleman that has the account has passed away. We did file a lien prior to him passing away, or before the house was sold. We did get the lien paid, but now we have this outstanding balance of $455.04. There's not gonna be a way to collect it. I can't turn into Trex. The gentleman is deceased. We're just needing council's permission to write that off. And he had the water leak in his home when he was deceased in his home.
Okay, that's on West Line Street there.
Yes.
Okay.
I make a motion, we just waive it.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Approval of 20,
Before we do that, I just wanted to add real quick, today we got our very first actual Trex payment, getting it transferred into our account. Should be there tomorrow, a whopping $62.66.
it's a start.
But it's better than nothing,
It's a
so
start.
that's all I have.
Approval of April 2026 bank recon. Why is it April?
Probably because
Somebody didn't change that
I didn't change that, probably.
and I didn't catch it. So
I think we already approved those.
Sorry about that.
June 2026. How's that sound?
Much better.
Favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Accounts payable.
Did we make motions?
Who made the motion and who seconded?
I didn't hear
recon?
anybody make
I
a
didn't hear
motion.
anybody.
I thought we did.
No. Not
All
on that,
right,
we
so
didn't.
back it up.
I said aye.
Yeah.
Motion to-
We said
motion to
aye,
approve,
but we
yeah.
made a motion. Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay,
And I will second.
Thank you.
now all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Same, opposed, same sign. Approval for accounts payable for June 2026.
I make
So
a motion.
moved.
Okay, go ahead.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All those motions pass. Any town attorney comments or updates?
I was going to talk about the bun situation a bit, but we've kind of covered everything. I'll twist his arm a bit more here and see where that gets us.
Okay.
At least they've started somewhere, better than nothing at this point.
Living down to the reputation. Council member comments or updates?
I just have one that's the same kind of thing for both, and it'd be requiring Nick to write, I think, the resolutions, if I got that right. We've talked a bit before, the council's already approved doing it, we just haven't gone through writing the resolution to do it. The rainy day fund, we need a resolution to say we can move that 10% into the rainy day fund. Council already said, yes, we want to do it prior, a couple months ago, and we can always revote that or whatever we need to do. But we'd have to vote to do a resolution. Is to be able to move the 10% that we'd be allowed to move in any given year, anytime during the year, to the rainy day funds, 10% of our budget.
Okay.
So they said if we don't have a resolution, we have to create one. And then the other one, I don't know on this, Tina and I kind of talked about, do we need a resolution to be able to, I don't know that we do. So Tina created, our clerk created the fund for the fire contracts funds to go into. So to receipt that money into the fire contract fund, we would have to amend and or appropriate funds to be spent from it. Do we need a resolution that it can be used that way? I mean, we've never had that fund before.
It's a new appropriated account.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do we just
nothing's ever been,
create it?
there has been no resolution for this account, this fund?
No, we have a revenue account for the
Okay.
fire contracts. Now for I've already created it now, but definitely for 2027, there'll be appropriations.
Okay,
That when we get the fire contract money, we can appropriate it into the fire and use it for equipment or whatever.
got it. Yeah, that could be put in the resolution.
I have a
Probably should be.
feeling we have to do something
Yeah.
to approve it, since we have to do the rainy day that way. I'm
Right.
assuming we might have to do that. So those are the two that I think we need to still do yet this year to get them taken care of. I'm waiting from the State Board of Accounts to get back with us on the possibility of using any TIF funds for that roller, the street roller, park roller. So I'm waiting for them to respond. DLGF said, check with the State Board of Accounts. So I sent them another message today because they didn't respond. So waiting on that. So that's my update.
Anyone else? There being no further business to come before the board, next meeting, we're having a executive session on, this Thursday, July 16th at 4 PM. Be here in the town hall. The next regular scheduled meeting is Tuesday, August 11th, 2026 at 6:30 PM.
I really slipped on that this time.
Well, Thursday at 4, yeah. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Andrew, second.